Welcome to the They to We Leadership Podcast, where we unpack the hard truths about management. Many professionals excel at the work itself, but when they step into management, everything changes. Each episode, we explore why so many struggle with that shift and how reconnecting with your people, your purpose, and your identity as a manager can make all the difference. One of the experiences I had that I really appreciate was I was doing a program for an agency and I flew in the day before. And the head of that agency said, "Listen, this afternoon we're going to have a staff meeting. Would you like to sit in?" And I would like you to sit in because I think it's an important example of what you're going to be teaching tomorrow. And I said, "Well, give me the background of what this is about." He said, "We hired a person years ago who has been a consistent problem through their career. No one really addressed this person. This was not a good person who made mistakes. This was a toxic person that had major character issues. And basically, what happened was, after all of these years, a sergeant got very frustrated with this person. And when they confronted them, they made an inappropriate comment about this person, attacked the person's character, basically said, "Are you an idiot?" or whatever. And even though what they said was true, it was inappropriate in the manner and examples that this person used with this problem employee. As a result of this incident, the problem employee had sued the department and had won hundreds of thousands of dollars as a result of this. And so the case was over, so to speak. The one of the stipulations was that the problem employee had to resign the department, but obviously, from a very wealthy perspective, this person left the agency. And it was interesting what they did. They had a debrief, what some people call an after action report. And the boss there wanted me to sit in and watch this. So I said, "Sure." I said, "I'll sit in there." And so we're sitting all around a big conference table. All the supervisors and managers are in there. And the boss gives a summary of what we just discussed in the previous couple of minutes. And he asked a question: how could we have prevented this? And I have a supervisor sitting next to me, and he nudges me and he said, "The person across from you is the sergeant who said what he said that caused this big civil suit." And I could tell by the sergeant, he felt terrible. He was humiliated. But what was interesting was what I saw develop here. So when the boss said, "How could we have prevented this?" people chimed in and listen. Let me give an examples. One of the people there raised his hand and said, "It's my fault." And he was not the person that I'm sitting directly across from that made the statement. And I thought that was very interesting. He said, "It's my fault. I had this person in the academy. It was very clear this person was an idiot and was a problem, not just an idiot, they were a bad person. And we were short staffed. We were trying to get as many people graduated. And I let this person graduate. And so years ago, I set this whole incident up that recently happened because of my failure to make the hard decision to not let this person graduate. Then another supervisor raised their hand and said, "I'm at fault as well. I had this person dead to rights that with a violation that I could have had this person terminated." And again, because I knew this person was going to file a grievance, we were going to have to go to court and all that, I just basically ignored what this person did. And other people shared the same thing. And what was so powerful about this is when the boss said this, he turned to the person, the sergeant who was the person that generated this suit, and said this. He said, our failure to deal with this person put you in the position that this happened. You're still wrong for what you said to this person, but we are all complicit because we did not address this in the past. And I don't want you to take the full weight of this. This is all of our faults for not following through and dealing with people that have no business wearing a badge. And I thought that was a really remarkable way to look at this. And it was interesting what the boss said. He said, listen, the money is gone. We've lost this money, but let's benefit from it by learning what to not do in the future. Don't let things go undealt with. Deal with toxic and problem people. And as I think about this, I bet you every agency has examples of that. Where, as one cop remarked, we're heroes on the street, cowards in the suites. That out on the streets, we confront people, regardless of who they are. We don't care if they're a doctor or they're a homeless person. We will address them and be fair and consistent with them. But in the building, because we live and work with these people every day, we tend to not be truthful and honest and don't make the hard decisions. And it's going to cost us. Our failure to deal with problems jeopardizes us for the future. And let me say this, problems don't go away, they will continue, and many times will get worse if we don't address them because we reinforce problem people when we fail to confront them. No one wants to be confronted. And when we consistently confront people who have no business in this profession, then we're not just trying to help them, but we're helping the whole agency to not keep having to deal with the consequences of this person's attitude and behavior. We have to deal with problems. They don't go away. They will come back to bite us. Gordon Graham, I think, is one of the best law enforcement trainers in the country. He talks about risk management, and he said, when you have a major upheaval and an agency is sued, that the media comes and exposes something very serious that occurred, none of the rank and file are surprised by this because they have seen these people not be addressed. And they always make this comment, it was only a matter of time. Everybody knows that he or she's like this. What are we doing? Think of the damage that has been to law enforcement because we don't address people that don't have the right to be police officers because they don't have the integrity. Problems don't go away, they get worse. We've got to stand up and deal with problem people. It's for the future of not just your agency, but the reputation of law enforcement. We've got to deal with our problems inside the agency as effectively as we do with the problems out on the streets. Thanks for joining us on the They to We Leadership podcast. If today's episode helped you think differently about management, take a moment to reflect and then apply it. Because real leadership isn't what you say, it's what you do next. And the real enemy is our pride and blindness on how we are really doing. Only with the help of others can we truly make an impact on those around us.